Salute, salute, salute. Boxing Nocturnal Thoughts. I'm gonna hit y'all with a little bit of blah, 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 blah boxing, right? So, how does Devin Haney keep Gervonta Tank Davis off of him if he don't got no power? I watched a few little videos. Gervonta Tank Davis was talking to Blue Blood Sports TV, him and Coach Calvin Ford, and it was just kind of one of those shit talking fest. See them talk the best, and Gervonta Tank Davis was asking, like they asked Blue, who you got winning between Gervonta Tank Davis and Devin Haney. Blue went on, Blue talking about, I got Devin Haney, but it's a 50-50 fight, etc., so on and so forth. But Gervonta Tank Davis asked, how is Devin Haney going to keep me off of him without power? I heard other videos ponder this question, and some people say, or one person said I was listening to, I don't remember the name of his video, my apologies. He was saying, boxing ain't all about power. They gonna learn. Tank Davis fans gonna learn that power is not the end all be all. And I'm paraphrasing, of course, which I understand that. We all should know, if we boxing fans, that power is not everything when it comes to boxing, right? And I heard people always go into the comparisons to Floyd Money Mayweather versus Pretty Boy Floyd. Before his hands started breaking and getting real fragile, he was knocking people out, like Diego Corrales and Gotti. But once his hands started breaking, he changed up his style. He got a little older, he got a little wiser, and he really started to go with that whole hit and not get hit to a whole different level. But he had the power to keep people honest. Devin Haney has the kind of power to keep people honest, right? Devin Haney has good footwork, tremendous jab, tremendous ring IQ. He's not he's not a knockout artist. We've seen him sit down on his punches a little bit here and there. But I feel like when he does sit down on his punches sometimes, that opens him up to get caught, like with, Jorge Linares. How does Devin Haney keep Gervonta Tank Davis off him with not having that power? Because, Gervonta Tank Davis, man, he gets hit. He took some hits, some punches from Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz is not like a big power puncher, but he always punches with an enormous amount of volume. He's a volume puncher. He just sits there and just throws punches almost to a fault, where I feel like, Leo Santa Cruz had that little trigger, that little twitch, and then he would just throw off a bunch of combinations to almost to a point where his combinations was a telegraph. And most people telegraph one big shot. Leo Santa Cruz telegraphs a whole combination. But we've seen Gervonta Tank Davis, when he was fighting against Mario Barrios in the 8th round, he caught Mario Barrios and knocked him down, I think two times. And I think that's when Mayweather came over there, was like, man, you down, you losing this fight. And Tank was like, how? I just knocked him down. Well, a lot of people, I was like, even listening to Showbiz Adult, a lot of people feel like Gervonta Tank Davis be getting paws laid on him until he lands a big knockout. I don't know. To me, I really still haven't seen Gervonta Tank Davis get rocked or hit to the point where I've seen his body. Like, I haven't seen him show the weakness of being knocked out. Anything can happen in boxing. I think anybody can be knocked out in boxing, But I haven't seen anybody hit Gervonta Tank Davis to the point where I felt like he almost got put to sleep, which is to say he has a chin. And sometimes when he's fighting these guys, he is getting caught with punches, but it's part of his style to a certain extent where he parries a lot of punches, he counters a lot of punches. When he gets hit flush, he doesn't, his poker face is where to me, he's just an old throwback type of fighter that doesn't mind getting hit in the face. You know what I'm saying? Him getting hit in the face doesn't detour him from his game plan. I haven't seen anybody hit him and then make him, you know what I'm saying, like show signs of like, I'm finna fold, or I'm finna quit, or I'm finna completely re-strategize. He makes adjustments, but I haven't seen him get hit and hurt, and nor have I seen Devin Haney get hit and hurt to the point where he changed his game plan. The closest I can say is when he got rocked by Jorge Linares. You seen his legs betray his body. They just was starting to buckle and cave in, and he was stumbling back to the corner. He regrouped himself and recomposed himself, but you can obviously see he was rocked. I haven't seen him Devin Haney has a decent chin. I don't know where people are getting a glass chin from. I'm gonna say his chin doesn't look as sturdy as Gervonta Tank Davis. They don't have the same build and genetic makeup, but he has certain advantages over Gervonta Tank Davis, with the reach, with the height. You know, if I was to look at their boxing skills on a graph, it would almost be, I would edge out Haney just a little bit when it comes to all around skills, and a lot of that to do would just be with Devin Haney's jab and his reach and his height. But past that, I don't give him a huge gap between his skills and Gervonta Tank Davis as far as just skill wise. Now, when it comes to power wise, I see a huge gap in the difference between the kind of power that Gervonta Tank Davis has versus the kind of power that Devin Haney has. That's just how I look at it. I don't want to say it's a 50-50 fight. It could be a 50-50 fight because Devin Haney has some attributes and some skills and high IQ and some experience, and he's starting to really mature, and his whole style is starting to come together. Before, I always felt like Devin Haney was just missing a few elements, and he was still trying to figure out what kind of fighter he was going to be. And I still feel that a little bit, but at the same time, him beating Kambosos back-to-back in his backyard shows that Devin Haney is starting to really come into his own style. But George Kambosos is not Gervonta Tank Davis. And I feel like even though Gervonta Tank Davis is somewhat of a novelty act, I don't know how anybody could deny his boxing skills, his ring IQ, his defense, his chin, his tenacity, and his power. When I look at all of that, I ask the same question. Besides your reach, besides your footwork, besides your ring IQ, besides your punching power, which will keep that Gervonta Tank Davis somewhat true, you're not gonna just rush in there. It still leaves me the question of how you gonna keep Gervonta Tank Davis off of you when you ain't got power. I know that Isaac Cruz' nickname is a pit bull, and Gervonta Davis' nickname, his alias is Tank, but I'm gonna tell you, Gervonta Tank Davis is a pit bull, and it's just different. It's just a different per square inch amount of pressure that some dogs can bite with, that it's like an equalizer. And if Devin Haney gets hit the same way I've seen him get hit in other fights, the outcome would be different against Gervonta Tank Davis. So I can't say that's a 50-50 fight. If Gervonta Tank Davis was only power with no skills, if he was a one-trick pony, I would say Devin Haney all day, every day, easy work. But If you add in the fact that even though Gervonta Tank Davis is the smaller guy, that doesn't matter to me, because him being a smaller guy, he knows how to use that to his advantage. And when I look at his power, which is a true power, I just lean towards Gervonta Tank Davis in that fight. That's my thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think in them comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Salute.